anti-democratic nature of United States capitalism is being exposed by Noam Chomsky. The simultaneous unfolding of the United States presidential campaign and unraveling of the financial markets presents one of those occasions where the political and economic system starkly reveal their nature. Passion about the campaign might not be universally shared, but almost everybody can feel the anxiety from the foreclosure of 1 million homes and concerns about jobs, savings, and health care at risk. The initial Bush proposals to deal with the crisis so reeked of totalitarianism that they were quickly modified. Under intense lobbyist pressure, they were reshaped as a clear win for the largest institutions in the system, a way of dumping assets without having to fail or close, as described by James Rickards, who negotiated the federal bailout for the hedge fund long-term capital management in 1998, reminding us that we are treading familiar turf. The immediate origin of the current meltdown lies in the collapse of the housing bubble supervised by Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan, which sustains the struggling economy through the Bush years by debt-based consumer spending along with borrowing from abroad. But the roots are deeper. In part, they lie in the triumph of financial liberalization in the past 30 years, that is, freeing the markets as much as possible from government regulation. These steps predictably increased the frequency and depth of several reversals, which now threaten to bring about the worst crisis since the Great Depression. Also predictably, the narrow sectors that reaped enormous profits from liberalization are calling for massive state intervention to rescue collapsing financial institutions. Such interventionism is a regular feature of state capitalism, though the scale today is unusual. A study by international economists Weinfried, Rigroth, and Rob Van Tulder 15 years ago found that at least 20 companies in the Fortune 100 would not have survived if they had not been saved by their respective governments, and that many of the rest gained substantially by demanding that governments socialize their losses, as in today's taxpayers financed bailout. Such government intervention has been the rule rather than the exception over the past 2 centuries, they conclude. In a functioning democratic society, a political campaign would address such fundamental issues, looking into root causes and cures, and proposing the means by which people suffering the consequences can take effective control. The financial market underprices risk and is systematically inefficient, as economists John Itwell and Lance Taylor wrote a decade ago, warning of the extreme dangers of financial liberalization and reviewing the substantial costs already incurred, and proposing solutions which have been ignored. One factor is failure to calculate the costs to those who do not participate in transactions. These externalities can be huge. Ignoring systemic risk leads to more risk-taking than would take place in an efficient economy, even by the narrowest measures.